Hello. In this instructional video, we are going to discuss sellerboard for Walmart, setting it up, analyzing your profitability on an account level, on a product level, and understanding your bottom line. So the first things you need to do after you connect your Walmart account to sellerboard is input your cost of goods, also input information about your shipping costs if you're handling your own shipping, and optionally, you can also account for your indirect or overhead expenses. So we are going to cover all of these steps and take a look at how the profit dashboard looks like and how you can analyze your profitability. Let's dive into the demo. Welcome to the sellerboard for Walmart profit dashboard. So this is the place where you can analyze your profitability on an account level, on a product level, and also under different angles using views like tiles, chart, P&L, and trends. But before we dive into the specifics of the profit dashboard, let's make sure we input our cost of goods, we account for our shipping costs if we are handling shipping ourselves, and also check boxes with pick and pack and indirect expenses. So the first is COGS, which is the main component for your profit calculations. On the products page, you will have a list of all your products pulled from Walmart, and this is the place where you can input information about cost of goods and assign shipping profiles. So let's take a look at COGS first. There are two COGS types in sellerboard. The first one is a constant, and the second one is by period, batch, and marketplace. The constant type is a good way to start, meaning that whatever value you will provide for your cost of goods, it will be applied for both retrospective calculations and for all future sales as well. So whenever you will receive a new batch of products with a different cost of goods, we suggest switching to the by period, batch, and marketplace model, meaning that you can create several different periods that will have different values for your cost of goods. For example, let's set up 3 different periods and input the quantities of products that were sent in at those times, and also input a value for your cost of goods. So in this example, the very first period, or the initial COGS applied, is at $1.5, and it starts from the very beginning of calculations. Then on the 1st of July, we also have another period starting with a cost of goods of $1.8 and 500 units of products. So, and there's the third period that starts at the 14th of July, and let's say we have 3 more 100 units in that batch, and the value for the cost of goods, let's say it's at $1.7. So currently we have 1, 2, 3 batches of cost of goods. So the cost of goods will be switching between them. Also, it's worth mentioning the fact that we'll be releasing the weighted average and the first in, first out calculation methods in the Walmart dashboard pretty soon. So follow our updates for that. Okay, on this page, when you've input all of the information for your periods and COGS, and also maybe you need to add a comment to one of these lines. Once you're done, you can click Save, and then basically you are good to go with the cost of goods for this product. But what happens if you have more products? For those cases, we have the import function. So you can use it to download a template that will contain all of your products, and also it will have the cost of goods column and the COGS type column as well. So you'll be able to input that information in the table. So for the inputting of cost of goods, that's that. Let's jump to the creation of shipping profiles. So the shipping profiles can be created on the shipping costs page, and by default, you have one profile applied to all of your products. The only option you have available for the general or default profile is to select the shipping cost calculation rule. There are several shipping cost calculation rules to choose from. So the first one being no shipping cost at all. The second one is the shipping cost equals what the client was charged for shipping. And the other 3 are pricing grids, which you can create to assign tiers. So let's take an example based on the order price. You also have the option to do the same thing based on the number of units in the package and based on the total package weight. And how does it work? So you are assigning costs, shipping costs, based on the package weight in different tiers. Let's say the first tier will be for packages under 3 kilograms. And I'm selecting the unit right here. It can be pounds or kilograms, grams, and so on. And the currency. So the first one would be 3 kilograms, then everything under 6 kilograms, and everything under 10 kilograms. So for domestic shipping, I'm going to be paying, let's say, $3 for packages under 3 kilograms, and then let's say $4 for packages under 6 kilograms, and maybe $6 for packages under 10 kilograms. And I can apply different pricing for the rest of the world. So let's say $12 for packages under 3 kilos, $15 for under 6 kilos, and let's say $20 for packages under 10 kilos. This is how you create the pricing grid. Let's go ahead and save it. Now that we have the general shipping profile saved, let's go to the shipping costs page again and create a new profile from scratch. I'm going to add a new profile. I'm going to give it a name, profile 1, and most importantly, I'm going to select a period. Why is that important? Because the shipping costs change over time. Let's say I'm going to assign a specific period, maybe from the beginning of June up until the end of August. So this means the whole summertime. I'm going to apply one shipping profile, and it's going to be applied for only a specific set of products. So I'm choosing which one exactly, hit save. And also you can select whether you want to apply the shipping profile to all your shipping methods or only specific ones. So I'm going to select the shipping methods that I want to apply the shipping profile to, maybe the express and standard shipping methods. And lastly, I'm creating the pricing grid, just as I showed you previously with the general profile, based on the package weight. So adding the columns, adding the rows. By the way, if I want to get specific about shipping to different countries, I can add additional rows and then assign, obviously, the prices for these countries. Okay, so this is how you input the information in a specific shipping profile. Now let's jump to the products page and take a look at how you can assign the products and assign a shipping profile directly from here for any other products others than those that I've just selected. I can go to the shipping profile column, click on default, and select the profile I've just created. So basically I'm assigning this shipping profile to this product and hit apply. So this is how you create and assign shipping profiles for calculating your FBM shipping costs. And now let's take a look at your pick and pack options, how you can account for prepping the orders. So by default, you can input a price per package and a price per item for all of your products, but also you can account for a different price per item for the first X number of items, meaning that maybe the first 10 items that I'm going to pack will be accounted for with 60 cents per item, and then the rest with 40 cents. So this is a calculation rule which you can set up here, and then hit save. The last thing we can account for are the indirect expenses. Let's take a look at those. All right, and the last thing that we can account for is the indirect expenses. So indirect expenses are also called overhead expenses, and they are pretty much every kind of expense you can have outside of Amazon that you want to account for. So if you're paying for a software subscription, if you're paying for office rent, if you're paying for some kind of packaging materials or things like that, you can account for all of that, and you can create a new expense, give it a name. Let's say we're paying for sellerboard subscription. I hope I got that right. And I'm paying for the subscription monthly. And also my amount is I'm paying $19 for it per month. So what I can do, since I've created a monthly subscription, I can select a category or create a new one. Let's say I'll create a category that will be called software, so I can analyze my expenses easier in the future. And I can also select a currency. I can account for it as an advertising cost if I need it. So it will pop up under advertising costs in my profitability calculations. And I can also account for expenses applied to specific products only. So then I want to select them from this list if I decide to do so. So that's that. And also on this page, you're able to analyze your expenses. You can analyze them by category. And yeah, so these are the indirect expenses that you can input. Once you're done, don't forget to click Save. Now, the profit dashboard contains 4 different views available: the tiles view, chart view, P&L, and trends. Let's start with the tiles view. This is a good starting point to analyze your performance for different periods of time, and the KPIs for these periods are presented on these tiles. So currently, we have the last month tile selected, and underneath, we see all of the products that were sold in that period and their performance, and you can adjust the columns or the metrics that you want to see in this table by accessing this drop-down menu. So let's take a look at how you can get a little bit more granular with your analysis. First off, when I'm analyzing last month, I can click on More and see how exactly my net profit was calculated. So if you'll go step by step and see each metric separately, I have my sales and how exactly were they calculated, what exactly was taken into account, like a subtotal, the promotions, shipping fee, refund, sales. Also, same will apply for units, so I'll have the sales and refunds, then my advertising costs. In here, I'll have the campaigns divided by type, and my shipping cost will be also included in here, my fees, cost of goods, and my gross profit will be calculated. If I want to understand my net profit, then I can also include the expenses in the calculation. So what I'm going to do to set up my expenses, I'm going to go to indirect expenses on this page. All right, so let's take a look at how you can understand your profitability on the product level. If you have a certain period selected, you can scroll down, analyze the products, their performance, and whenever I am looking at a specific product, I can also click on More and see the same breakdown of how exactly the net profit was calculated. So you get the same picture as I just presented to you on an account level. One more important thing worth mentioning is that you can switch to the order items and see the orders that you registered for last month or whatever period you have selected. And you can narrow down your search if you use the search bar and you select a set of products, and you can search by product name. You can also search by tags, and you can select a specific period or just select a certain template from the ones that we provide. Okay, this is it for the tiles view. Now let's take a look at the chart view. The chart view is a good way to analyze the evolution of a specific set of metrics over time. You can select the metrics you are interested in by clicking the configuration button and then selecting from a list. You will be presented with a chart that displays the evolution of those metrics, and then you can select a period that you want to analyze. And on the right, you'll see the calculation for an account level. Underneath, you'll be able to see all the details on a product level and get granular. So the next view is the P&L view. it's like a giant spreadsheet that has all of the information regarding the sales, units sold, advertising costs, shipping costs, and everything else. Pretty much the same profitability calculation structure as I showed you previously in the tiles view, but this time you're analyzing it on an account level and comparing values month by month, or you can select to do so week by week or day by day, depending on what you're trying to analyze. Same thing if you have a period selected like May, for instance, and you scroll down, you'll see the product list sold specifically in May, and you can switch to the order view, by the way, and check out the orders that happened in May. All right, moving further, let's see the trends view. So this is a good way to analyze one of these metrics like sales, units, orders, promotion, advertising costs, fees, cost of goods, gross profit, expenses, net profit, margin or ROI over time on a product level. So if I'm trying to spot a trend and see if I can do something about it, I would probably go to the trends view, choose the metric I'm interested in. Let's say I want to check out net profit and see how it changed over time for different products. I would select that metric. I would take a look at the products, take a look at the charts, and see where I can see things continuously growing or maybe continuously decreasing. And to help me out to understand that, I can also go to the period that I'm interested in and sort it out, either ascending or descending, and either by absolute values or delta. So meaning if I want to see the biggest increase in the past period, then I would select delta descending because I want to see the major or the biggest values first. And then I would gradually scroll down and see the least performing products as well. Okay, so this is the trends view. One more important thing. Let's go to the tiles view for a second. I wanted to mention that if you are analyzing the products view, right, in any of tiles, chart, P&L, or trends views, then you can go all the way to the right and check out this icon that lets you add additional columns to the spreadsheet that you're analyzing the products view. Okay, so if you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to our support team. They'll be happy to help you out. This is it for the instructional video. Thank you. Good luck.